afternoon. Thank you all for coming to the WebTA training. My name is Chief Adams, and I want to talk to you guys about how to apply for Navy Tuition Assistant. So first, you have to qualify to be able to apply. The first thing is be active duty. So we all meet that requirement, so that's already a checking block. Unfortunately, if you're a first termer, you have to have at least a minimum of 1 year on board. So Seaman Basham, you won't be eligible for it until you've been here until 2014. Your EAOS cannot expire. So if your contract is about to end or is close to ending, you need to re-enlist or extend to be able to utilize tuition assistance. If you have any, if you use tuition assistance in the past and you owe for classes, maybe you failed a class or you dropped a class so that became an incomplete, you have to pay the money back first before you're able to use tuition assistance again. No outstanding waivers for tuition assistance. As you all know, everyone gets 16 credits. If you exceed that 16 credits and you did get a waiver, then you can't use tuition assistance until that has been cleared. Must still have tuition assistance quota credits for a fiscal year. Like I said before, there are 16 credits per year per person, and if you exceed that, and if you do not get a waiver, you're ineligible. No missing or overdue grades. Say for example, your institution did not send Navy College your grades, then you can't take it. So sometimes the college will send you the grades directly. However, you have to get in contact with your college and tell them to send it directly to Navy College because the transcript cannot touch the sailor's hands. And you can't be in a State 21 or graduate education voucher or academic education vouchers. And those are the only people who receive money because they went to college prior to joining the military, and the military is now paying off their student loans. You can apply to use tuition assistance to either of these type of degrees. You cannot get duplicate bachelor's, associate, master's degree. You have to constantly go up. Like I said earlier, you get 16 semester hours, and each semester hour is $250 per hour. As you all know, there's 3 hours per class. Okay, so that's already $750. And again, you can get a waiver if you exceed these 16 hours. However, sometimes it's difficult to get. So we're going to go through the steps of how you apply for a tuition assistant. First, you need to discuss it with your chain of command. Hey, Petty Officer Collins, I would like to take some college classes. How do I go about it? Once your chain of command gives you the thumb out, you go to the Navy College office and you sit down with Mr. Freeman, and he gives you a one-on-one, or he'll send you a PowerPoint presentation, and it goes over everything that I'm discussing with you now. Again, if you receive an F or an I for incomplete from a previous class, you have to either pay back the Navy or tell the Navy why you dropped the class. If you give them a reasonable excuse, maybe your ship went on deployment or you had military obligations, that can be waived. And if you do have debt, if you do owe for their school, you have to pay the Navy College. You can't you can't try to pay the institution to have them pay back the Navy. Before applying for any classes, you must have some type of education plan on file. So if you're taking 2 or 3 classes, just say you want to do an associate's degree in general studies, the Navy College has to have that on file, and it has a breakdown. It pretty much tells you every class you need to take in order to achieve that degree. And for some reason, if you exceed the TA requirements, you can always jump into your Montgomery GI Bill or your post 9/11 GI Bill to subside the cost of your classes. The Navy pays 100% of your class. However, the student does have to pay for the book. There are 8 information items you will need to have in order to complete your TA application. A degree plan, as I discussed earlier, email address for your commanding officer or by direction, and normally it's Bosun who signs off on our documents. the phone number, of course your day phone number, the school name, the course information. You can get all that from the school website or from your student advisor. So here's the website. You can either go to Navy College or you can go to My Education. If you are not eligible, once you log into that site, it'll tell you, sorry, but you're ineligible because of various reasons. And it'll go through and tell you what the reasons are. Okay? So you should come to a screen that looks like this. You just click on My Application. My Tuition Assistant. And then you'll come to this screen. It'll tell you if you have any credits available. It'll tell you how many credits you still have remaining. If you don't have any credits, it'll say 0. Okay? So it takes the guessing out of it. This shows that a person is ineligible and why they're ineligible. They're missing grades, and they also need to pay back from a previous class. And again, it'll break it down. So it's pretty much dummy proof. So, I mean, again, it takes the guessing out of everything. Okay. So you read this here. This is just an agreement that you understand how the tuition assistant works. And once you have read that, you agree to it or you do not agree. Again, if you don't accept it, then you can't use tuition assistant. Okay. If you use a college before, it'll tell you which college institution you use, and they're asking you, do you want to continue using that college, or is your degrees going to come from that same college or your classes? If not, then just hit no, and then you can put in the new information. If it is, just continue with yes. Okay, a lot of this stuff is filled out for you. However, you have to do some legwork. This right here is very important. The seal of bi-directional authority. This email here, once you do your tuition assistant, once you fill this information here out, you need to put in BOSA's name. And it goes directly to him, so it skips your LPO, your LCPO. You just need to inform them that you are taking classes so they won't be blindsided. This is also important. You just put the institution that the installation that you're currently at. So for us, it'll be Mr. Freeman, and he's local with us, Sasebo. Before it used to be Yokosuka. Yokosuka used to do all of Navy in Japan. This is just like some questionnaires. It asks you what is your academic goal if you're trying to receive a high school diploma, an associate's, bachelor, and so on and so forth. They ask you if you're going to graduate soon, and if so, have you applied for graduation, and on and on. A lot of people say yes to this, but a SOCNAV agreement means that it doesn't matter what schools you go to. That school is going to give you your degree. So say, for example, I took a couple of classes with the University of Maryland, the University of Iowa, and then I decided to go to DeVry. If I have a SOCNAV agreement with DeVry, all those other schools that I went to, they will combine all of those classes. Doesn't matter where school I went to, and they will still give me a degree based on the classes that I took. Okay? So you can jump around. You know, in Naval, we constantly moving. So if you're going to University of California in California, and then now you're going to Great Lakes, and you go to the University of Great Lakes, those classes and grades that you already achieved, you don't have to retake them. Okay, and this is just a breakdown. Again, you can get this from your student advisor, or sometimes schools give you catalogs. Okay, so you just put in the course information and title, the course description that says whether the course is going to be online or on base or on campus or whatnot. Course level, if it's upper or lower. Lower is normally like your 200 and below classes, and if they're 300 and above, they're considered upper classes, or if you're just trying to achieve a high school diploma. PMI is a primary institution location. What are you going to do? For me, it'll be web because I'm doing mine online. If it was a CD-ROM, it'll be a C. Okay, and course unit. So how many course per unit does this take and whatnot? And then everything else is pretty much self-explanatory. It tells you like credit hours and costs, and again, it's normally 250, but please check with your institution. So once all that is filled out, you hit yes and to continue. Once you submit it, it goes to the approving authority, and you can't make any changes. You will have to tell the person that's approving it, which is Bolton, and he will have to make any changes, or you will have to contact Mr. Freeman to change anything for you.
Do what now?
Once your application has been approved by the command authority, you will receive an email letting you know that it has been now forwarded to the Navy College office. And this is the example that you normally will receive. Okay. And once the Navy College approves it, you will receive another email, and it will look something similar to this right here. The Navy has funds for the remainder of the fiscal year, so if you take a class, you normally see a week or two turnaround. Okay. Now, once you have been approved to use your tuition assistance, there's still a little bit more you have to do. So you go back into the WebTA and just click Existing Application. You view that application, you print the document, and you sign. You sign here, and then you send that application to the institution where you would like to go to school. Any questions?
Same.
Thank you for your time.